Okay, so good afternoon all. Last lecture we had discussed with predation. So now today we will continue with competition. So in competition, minus sign is there. You know that both the species got harm. Both the species got harm. Fine. See, when Darwin spoke the struggle for existence. See, each and every organism have each and every organisms have struggle of existence. So it has to adapt the environment. And survival of the fittest in nature. See, when the sources are in limited manner, then organisms have to compete with other organisms for obtaining it. We have discussed with the two graphs, logarithmic logistic growth and geometric growth. You know that in geometric growth we assume that growth is unlimited. Okay, but here each and every organism have to struggle for its existence, compete with each other and win in that competition. And survival of the fittest means the organism adapt to the atmosphere and successfully able to reproduce the new offspring, which is also fertile. Okay, that is known as survival of fittest, given by Darwin. Darwin, also known as father of evolution. He was convinced that interspecific competition is a potent force in organic evolution. See, here we discussed with this topic that competition is of two types. Intraspecific interspecific. Intraspecific means between two individuals of same species. And interspecific means between two individuals of two different species. You know that in intraspecific competition, the competition is more severe. because sources are same. Here source is same, that's why intraspecific competition is severe. Okay, good. It is generally believed that competition occurs when closely related species compete for the same resources that are limiting, but this is not entirely true. Firstly, totally unrelated species could also compete for the same resource. Sometimes what happens that two different individuals of two different species compete with each other for same resource. For instance, in some shallow South American lake, visiting flamingos and resident fish compete for their common food, the zooplankton in the lake. જે ફ્લેમિંગો છે, flamingo and resident fish compete with each other for common organism, zooplankton. You know that planktons are floating organisms. Secondly, resources need not be limiting for competition to occur. In interference competition, the feeding efficiency of one species might be reduced due to interfering and inhibitory presence of other species, even if resources are abundant. Some species inhibited food intaking capacity to away from the competition. Okay. Therefore, competition is the best defined as a process in which the fitness of the one species measured in the term of its R, that is intrinsic rate of increase, and here what R indicates? B minus D. Is significantly lower in presence of another species. It is relatively easy to demonstrate in laboratory experiment as Gauss and other experimental ecologists did. When resources are limited, see here Gauss principle can be asked frequently. Gauss and other experimental ecologists state, when resources are limited, the competitively superior species will eventually eliminate the other species. Gauss principle states that when the competition is for the same resource, one species kills another species. But evidence for such competitive exclusion occurring in nature is not always conclusive. Strong and persuasive circumstantial evidence does exist, however, in some cases. The abundant tortoise, please remember, On Galapagos Island, Abingdon turtle or Abingdon tortoise is introduced. Abingdon tortoise is a foreign species which is now introduced into Galapagos Island. But due to less grazing efficiency of the Abingdon tortoise than the goat, Abingdon tortoise was extincted. See, Abingdon tortoise in Galapagos Island become extinct within a decade, within 10 years after goat were introduced on the island, apparently due to greater browsing efficiency of the goats. Another evidence for occurrence of competition in nature come from what is called as competitive release. Species whose distribution is restricted to the small geographical area because of the presence of the competitive superior species is found to be expand its distributional range dramatically when the competing species is experimentally removed. Cornell-Elegant field experiment. Showed that on the rocky sea coast of Scotland, larger and competitively superior barnacles, Balanus, dominates the intertidal area and excluding the smaller barnacle, Cathamelus, from this zone. Okay? You know that I had told to you. Barnacles compete with each other for rocky habitat. So here large barnacle wins, small barnacles excluded. So barnacles are pioneer species. Of Rocky Mountain. In general, herbivores and plants appear to be more adversely affected by competition than carnivores. Gauss competitive exclusion principle. Gauss principle, competitive exclusion principle, states that two closely related species competing for the same resources cannot coexist indefinitely, and the competitive inferior one will be eliminated eventually. Gauss principle states that when two species compete with each other for the same resource, two are not eliminated simultaneously. This may be true if resources are limited, but not otherwise. More recent studies do not support such gross generalization about competition, while they do not rule out the occurrence this may be true if resources are limiting but not otherwise. More recent studies do not support such gross generalization about competition, while they do not rule out the occurrence of interspecific competition in nature. They point out that species facing competition might evolve mechanisms that promote coexistence rather than exclusion. One such mechanism is resource partitioning procedure. If the two species, what is resource partitioning? If two species compete for the same resource, they could avoid competition by choosing, for instance, different time for feeding or different foraging pattern. If the resource is same, one organism can take it, other organism can wait for it. This is known as resource partitioning. MacArthur showed that 5 closely related species in warblers living on the same tree were able to avoid competition and coexist due to behavioral difference in their foraging activity. MacArthur એમ કહે છે કે એક જ પ્લાન્ટ ઉપર 5 different species of warblers રહેશે એની different habitat ના લીધે. Otherwise you can't believe that on the one plant 5 species of warbler can live simultaneously with each other. Now parasitism. You know that parasitism in that plus minus sign is there. Here parasitic organism plus host organism minus. Let's see. Considering that parasitic mode of life ensures free lodging and meals, it is not surprising that parasitism has evolved in so many taxonomic groups from plants to the higher vertebrates. Here, many parasites have evolved to the host specific. They can parasite only a single species of host in such a way that both host and parasite tend to co-evolve. When host plant or host organism can evolve along with that parasitic organism can also evolve, that is known as co-evolve. That is, if the host evolves special mechanisms for rejecting or resisting for the parasite. Sometimes what happens, that parasitic organism can reject it or resist it. The parasite has to evolve mechanisms to counteract and neutralized them in order to be successful with the same host species. In accordance with their lifestyle, parasites evolve spatial adaptation such as loss of unnecessary sense organs, presence of adhesive organs, or suckers to cling on the host. Parasitic organisms have so many types of different structural changes in their body. Some parasitic organisms consist suckers in their mouth, just like a vacuum one. So with the help of this, that organism can strongly connected to the host organism. If you know that platyhelminths in that sucker mouth is there, and cyclostomata. Loss of digestive system and high reproductive capacity. Sea cucumber, please note down one more point here. Sea cucumber lost or remove whole digestive system. Sea cucumber lost its whole digestive tract and regenerated. Sea cucumber has efficiency to regenerate whole digestive tract after removing it. Life cycle of parasite are even often complex, involving one or two intermediate hosts or vector to facilitate the parasitization of its primary host. Human liver fluke. Trematode parasite depends on the two intermediate hosts, snail and fish, to complete its life cycle. Please underline this. Liver fluke is a parasitic organism living liver, and two hosts are there to complete its life cycle, snail and fish. Malarial parasite, you know that. Malarial parasite need a vector. Which vector? Female Anopheles mosquito here, to spread to other host. Majority of the parasite harm the host. They may reduce the survival, growth and reproduction of the host and reduce its population density. They might render the host more vulnerable to predation by making it physically weak. Do you believe that an ideal parasite should be able to thrive within the host or without harming it? No way at all. Each and every parasitic organism can harm the host organism. Then why did not natural selection lead to evolution of such totally harmless parasite? Evolution occurs, but along with the parasitic organism evolution, the host organism is evolved, along with that parasitic organism is also evolved. Okay? Parasite that feed on the external surface of the host organism is known as ectoparasite. Previous lecture I had told to you that temporary parasite, permanent parasite ectoparasitism and endoparasitism. So the parasitic organism live outside of the host body, okay, known as ectoparasite. The most familiar example of this group are the lice on human and tick on dogs. Many marine fish are infested with ectoparasitic copepods. Cascata, you know that. Cascata is parasitic plant. Along with Cascata, Loranthus is there. Cascata, you know that, total parasitic organism. And Loranthus is partially parasite. Loranthus have chlorophyll. That's why it is autotrophic. But for remaining substances, it has to depend on host organism. So Cascata and Loranthus are parasitic plant examples. Cascata lost its chlorophyll and lives in the course of evolution. It derives its nutrition from the host plants, which it parasite is. Cascata is a stem parasite, total stem parasite. And you know that in Cascata, subtorial roots are there. Cascata is also known as Amar Bell or Akash Bell, which is never died. Okay, Cascata is climbing plant, clinging plant. Okay, so it has very weak stem. It live on the host plant. The female mosquito is not considered a parasite, although it needs our blood for reproduction. Can you explain why? Yes. You know that in malaria we had discussed with this that female Anopheles mosquito bites human being to suck the blood, and with the help of the blood of the human being, the female Anopheles mosquito produce the sporozoites. More sporozoites are the one type of the plasmodium in their body. Female Anopheles mosquito is not parasite, but in female Anopheles mosquito, the salivary gland which consists the sporozoites, the one form of the plasmodium protozoa, are parasitic one. In contrast, endoparasites are those that live inside the host body at different sites: liver, kidney, lungs, RBCs, etc. The life cycle of endoparasites are more complex because their extreme specialization. These Endoparasitic organisms have to live inside the host body. So they have very special characters and they have complex mechanism. Morphological and anatomical features are greatly simplified while emphasizing their reproductive potential. Morphological means external feature study, anatomical study of internal organs. Brood parasitism in birds is a fascinating example of parasitism in which the parasitic bird lay its egg in the nest of the host and let the host incubate them. You know the example of this. One bird lay down the eggs, and you know the terminology word. Layout of the eggs, the procedure is known as spawning. During the course of evolution, the eggs of the parasitic bird have evolved to resemble the host egg in the size and color to reduce the chance of host bird detecting the foreign eggs and ejecting them from the nest. See, one bird lay down the eggs in the host nest. So it has to produce the same sized and same colored eggs of the host organism. Otherwise, what happened? If the size and color of the eggs are different than the host organism, it can be isolated from the host organism. Try to follow the movement of the cuckoo, quail, and crow in your neighborhood park during the breeding season, spring to summer. You know that cuckoo lay down the eggs in nest of crow and watch brood parasitism in action. Now, commensalism. Commensalism means that you know plus 0. This is the interaction in which one species benefits and the other is neither harmed nor benefited. Here I have given the one example for commensalism. Which example? Small suckerfish and big shark. Orchid growing is an epiphyte on the mango branch. What do you mean by epiphytic plant? Means it takes habitat only on mango branch but can't take anything from it. See, orchid is very small plant. Okay, here if it is grown under the large tree, it cannot obtain the sufficient amount of the sunlight. That's why the orchid live on the branch of the mango tree. Roots are hanging in the air, and that roots have special characteristic that is known as velamen tissue. The root of the orchid consists velamen tissue to absorb moisture from atmosphere. So here this orchid produce the epiphytic root. The orchid produce the hanging in air epiphytic roots to absorb the moisture from the atmosphere. So here for orchid, that is plus, it obtains the large amount of sunlight by inhabitate on the branch of the mango tree. Okay, whereas mango tree has zero, no profit, no loss. And barnacles growing on the back of the well benefit while neither the mango tree nor the well derives any apparent benefit. Cattle aggregate and grazing cattle in close association. Sight you are mostly likely to catch if you live in the farmed rural area is the classic example of the commensalism. The egret always forage close to where the cattle are grazing because the cattle as they move stir up and flush out from the vegetation insects that otherwise might be difficult for the egret to find out and catch. Egret જે છે એક is a one type of bird. Egret live just nearer to the cattle. Cattle જ્યારે કોઈ પ્લાન્ટનું ગ્રેઝિંગ કરે ત્યારે due to movement of the parts of the plant, the insects will fall off. As a result, egret can obtain it easily. Sometimes insects are present at very high height. As a result, egret cannot able to reach to them. Okay, so cattle can help it. So here egret got plus, cattle has 0. Another example of commensalism is interaction between sea anemone that has stinging tentacles and clownfish. Sea anemone and tortoise. Sea anemone and hermit crab, as I told to you in the mutualism example. But here tentacles of the or stinging of the sea anemone and clownfish. The fish get protection from the predators which stay away from the stinging tentacles of the sea anemone. Sea anemone does not appear to derive any benefit hosting the clownfish. So here clownfish got the plus and sea anemone 0. Okay, so here another examples. Egrets got plus, grazing cattle 0. Sea anemone got 0, while clownfish got plus. Big shark and tiny sucker fish whereas human being got plus by intestine E. coli bacteria got 0. You know that some symbiotic useful E. coli bacteria are present in our intestine, so it gives the vitamin B12 to our body. So here I can stop.